Foliage comes in many different shapes and sizes. This first one I'm going to draw is basically a sphere. Think of your foliage as a sphere. So if the sun is coming from your upper left and shining down on a sphere, you're going to have the sphere, the lower right-hand side, drop into shadow. There'll be a form shadow, and then the cast shadow will be coming off of that. There's also foliage where it's got a flattened top plane, but yet the side planes are kind of concave. Now this one, the sun is also coming in at the top, so the sides will have your shadow, and there'll be a cast shadow falling off of it. Remember, trees and shrubs are vertical planes, so you do need to have a cast shadow from them. This is basically like a boxwood hedge, and it forms the shape of a box or a rectangle. So we're gonna have a top plane where the sun is hitting it, and then two side planes, as well as the cast shadow and where the roots would hit the ground. So just think in terms of these really simple, basic shapes when you're drawing and laying out your foliage. Over here, I'm drawing a really simple umbrella shape of a tree. Bases of trees are usually wider, and as they go to the top, they get narrower. Now also, when you're drawing a tree, think of the rule of thirds. So possibly consider having 1/3 in light and 2/3 in shadow. It just makes it more interesting than if you dropped everything, you divided it half and half light, half shadow. This shape is more like what you'd see like for Italian cypress, the really tall, thin Italian trees. You're gonna see most of your details in the light side. The shadow side will be more of a simple shape and just darker. So this shadow side can just fall into shadow. Here's another basic shape of a tree. It's just kind of like a pyramid. And this as well will have the details on the light side, and the shadow side will just kind of fall into shadow and just be kind of dark. Think about the different shapes of trunks. Trunks are usually wider at the base, and then they get narrower as they go up, and then sometimes they split. As well as all trees basically have a cast shadow underneath them, so don't forget the cast shadow.